Good afternoon. My name is Ben Gunter. I'm here to talk with you about the course that's called Finding Tallahassee, which meets on Wednesdays from 2:30 to 4:30. I'm the artistic director for Theater with a Mission, a troupe that's deeply rooted in Tallahassee and completely devoted to putting Florida history on stage. When we were in a hurry, we boil Theater with a Mission down to its dramatic essence, and we simply call it wham. And I'm here to tell you about a need for speed. You see, there's a magnificent historic milestone that's hurtling toward us. In 2024, Tallahassee turns 200, just next year. And that's not all. Fast as the Florida capital's bicentennial is speeding our way, there's another magnificent milestone that's approaching even faster. Tallahassee was selected as the site for Florida Territory's new capital in 2023, just 200 years ago this fall. So TWAM and OLLI are teaming up to offer you a course, Finding Tallahassee. In this course, we'll think fast together to dig up the drama that's buried in Tallahassee's origin story and to figure out ways to share that story with people from all over town and from all over Florida. Because the countdown clock to Tallahassee's 200th birthday is ticking, this course will move double time. We'll have two course directors. I'll be one. Heidi Coddington, Theater with a Mission's assistant director, will be the other. Every class will examine two sides of early Tallahassee in combinations like stories and silences, where we're looking at the people whose story about Tallahassee being found is told and people whose story has been silenced for years. Mission and commissioners, natives and newcomers, medicines and merchants, laws and flaws, balls and brawls. Now, to make sure that our picture of Tallahassee looks beyond two dimensions, we'll combine deep dives into documents and delicacies and diary entries and dances with hands-on experiences where you'll get to experiment with reenacting Finding of Tallahassee. So come join us in 2023, just in time for the 200th anniversary of Tallahassee being selected as the site for Florida Territory's new capital. The course is Finding Tallahassee. It meets on Wednesdays from 2:30 to 4:30. Get there, sign up quickly. It's time where we have a need for speed.
Hi, my name's Jan Brown, and I'll be teaching Football 101 on Mondays at 2:30 from 2:30 to 4:30. Have you spent Saturdays and Sundays confused totally about that hype around the game ball that looks so funny? Did you give up trying to learn about football because it moved too quickly and no one had the patience to teach you? Football 101 is aimed for you. Those people who know little or nothing about American football will learn about the field and the markings, equipment, scoring, kicking game, player positions, officials, basic rules, penalties, coaches and coaching, simple game strategy, and some of that football jargon. Do you know what it means to scoop and score? A field trip to Doak Campbell Stadium and Moore Athletic Center will be led by Carol Moore, Coach Norval's personal assistant. We'll have a visit by Bob Goslin, the former president of the Big Bend Coaches Association, who will explain rules and penalties and all of those things that those guys in the striped shirts do. For the last class, a very special treat. Charlie Ward, one of the most decorated college football players in history, will visit to talk about what is required physically and emotionally to play and coach college football. After this course, you're going to be cheering along with everybody else.
My name is Myriam Rudaz. My background is in clinical psychology, psychotherapy, and mind-body medicine. And I will offer, together with my colleague, Dr. Thomas Liederman, a mindfulness and compassion-based resilience training. So this is an in-person course, and we will meet bi-weekly, Tuesday and Thursdays from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. at the Tallahassee Chan Center. And I'm just going to read a quote by Thich Nhat Hanh. Life can be found only in the present moment. The past is gone, the future is not yet here, And if we do not go back to ourselves in the present moment, we cannot be in touch with life. So I think this quote just describes beautifully what we will be doing during this training, namely cultivating mindfulness and compassion. And the training will be very experiential, as we will explore different concepts through various exercises, such as mindful movement or regulating the breath or loving kindness meditation. And in each session, we will also have room for group sharing and discussions. So I hope you will consider joining, and we look forward to meeting you soon. Thank you so much for your attention.
I'm Melody Morrison. I'm a PhD student in piano pedagogy here at FSU. Pedagogy is just a fancy word for teaching. I'll be teaching the introductory group piano course this summer, and I'm super excited to do so. That course will be a 6-week course that will meet on Tuesdays from 9:30 to 11:30 in the Kellogg Research Building. And you might be one of those people who took piano lessons a long time ago, and maybe your parents forced you to do it, so you quit, or it was boring, your teacher made you practice. So, but you might regret it now, and or you've just always wanted to learn. And if you're either one of those people, this is a great opportunity. Oh, the wind is the wind is blowing. I'm on FSU's beautiful campus, but the wind is a lot. But you might be someone who would love to take piano again. And if that's the case, this course is for you. We have a lot of fun. We play games. We play a lot of music right from the very first day. So we don't waste any time. We get right into it. By the end of our class, you'll be learning elementary note reading. You'll be able to sight read basic pieces as well as chords. You can play lead sheets, play some repertoire. We'll play familiar pop tunes. Like I said, we'll have a lot of fun, and you'll be able to impress all your friends and family with your new piano skills. So again, that's Tuesdays, 9:30 to 11:30, introductory group piano class. Can't wait to see you there. Thanks.
My name's Marshall Kapp, retired FSU professor. I'm going to be leading a course entitled COVID-19, Law, Ethics, Public Policy. This is an in-person class, 3 sessions, Tuesday mornings at 9:30 at Red Hills Village Retirement Resort. 4 years ago, most Americans probably couldn't spell the term public health, let alone explain what it means. But of course, the emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic changed all that. COVID presented us with a lot of medical challenges, certainly, but also a lot of ethical, legal, and policy challenges and controversies. Those challenges and controversies are what we'll be discussing, and the emphasis is on discussing rather than lecture in this class. Some of the specific issues will include testing and other public health surveillance or data gathering activities, quarantine and isolation, mandatory vaccination, masking requirements, closures or restrictions regarding schools, businesses, houses of worship, and other public gathering places, and the equitable allocation, in other words, rationing of scarce resources. And we won't just be criticizing and finding fault with things that were done or not done during the COVID pandemic. Hopefully underlying our discussions will be a quest to figure out how we can do better when the next inevitable, and it is inevitable, I think, massive public health crisis emerges. So I hope that some of you will join us in that quest.
Hi everyone, my name is Eoin Devlin, and I'm coming to you from the University of Cambridge in England, where I work as a historian, working primarily on the late 17th century. And it's this period of British history that we're going to be looking at in this 6-week course. It's called The Reign of Charles II and the Birth of Modern Britain, looking at the period 1660 to 1685. And although perhaps this period is not very well known outside of academic circles, this 25-year period is really a crucible, a very important moment in creating a framework for how we all engage in political and social and cultural activity all the way down to the 21st century. So in this course, we're going to be looking at the emergence of a post-Civil War community. We're going to be looking at the return of monarchy and new forms of religious and social oppression after the restoration of the monarchy in 1660, following a period of Republican governance. And we're going to think about how a political system responds to having to rebuild itself. We'll answer the question, what was restored at the restoration and what was new in this period? And then we're going to think about issues which really resonate today. We're going to be thinking about the advent of the two-party political system, which emerges for the first time in Britain in the 1680s, with the emergence of the Tory party and the Whig party. This was a period which was dominated by conspiratorial politics. The conspiracy theory really shaped the character of this politics, so it will be very familiar to those of us living in Britain and the United States today. We're going to be looking at the rise of newspapers and a media culture for the first time. This is the first time in British history when ordinary people have regular access to the news, but also to fake news, to disinformation. So we'll think about the implications of that. And we'll also look at the culture of the time. We'll look at a booming theatre culture, which for the first time is allowing women to act on stage, and a form of poetry and other kinds of writings, which for some authors are very serious and focused on celebrating political authority, and others which are quite satirical, even licentious, in some cases pornographic. So the unraveling of codes of conduct in the cultural sphere will be another key theme. So we have 6 classes to think about all of this, beginning on the 2nd of May on Zoom. And I look forward to seeing you all there. I hope that you'll be able to join me. Thanks very much.
Hello, I'm Carole Fiore, and I'm one of the docents who will be helping you guide your way through the Golden Legacy. Many of us grew up with the books with the golden edge. And now we're going to see so many of these old original artwork from the books. In addition to having a tour of the exhibit on the last day of the class, which will be June the 6th, we will have 2 other classes. On May the 23rd, I'll be talking about the publishing industry and how golden books made a huge difference. On June the 30th, Tom Friedman, another of our volunteers, will be talking about some of the artists, such as Tibor Gergely, Fyodor Rozhkovsky, Alice and Martin Provanson, and how they shaped children's books and also their contributions to fine art. We hope that you will join us at the Gadsden Art Center in downtown Quincy. Hope to see you there.
My name is Laurine Celeste Fox, and I'm going to be teaching an in-person class on Tuesdays from 2:30 to 4:30 that asks, what do conductors actually do? In this class, in addition to touching on such things as planning musical programs and coming up with interpretations of specific pieces, we'll also go through basic conducting motions. In addition, we'll watch videos of different conductors conducting the same piece and talk about how their interpretations differ and perhaps are similar one to the other. Then we'll give participants of the class the opportunity to get up and try their hand at conducting some of these pieces themselves. If any members of the class would prefer not to participate in this portion of the class, that's fine too. I don't know about you, but I can see where this class could just be a whole lot of fun. So I warmly invite you to join me in viewing music from a perspective that might have seemed rather mysterious to you up till now, that of the conductor.
Hi, everyone. I want to invite you to my piano class that will be meeting on Wednesday mornings here on FSU's campus from 9:30 to 11:30 in the morning. This will be the continuing piano lessons course. So it is designed for those who might already have a little bit of experience or have previously taken the first level of piano classes that we have offered here. And so we will be looking at a variety of materials and genres, playing ensemble music and solo music, learning a bit about different composers and different time periods of music. And we always have a lot of fun in this class. The enrollment is limited just to 7 people because that is the amount of keyboards we have. So I hope to have 7 of you there. So see you then.
My name is Linda Collins, and this is a mountain dulcimer. This is the only truly American instrument. It was devised by Scots-Irish settlers up in Appalachia. They had discovered along the way as they were traveling from Philadelphia down the Wagon Road and then across the Wilderness Road that there was an instrument carried by some of the German settlers that intrigued them, but wasn't quite suitable for the kind of music that they wanted to play. And so they set about making this instrument their own. It's a fun instrument. It has its background, as I say, in the hollers of Appalachia. And at one point in time, it nearly was lost to us until a woman who was not only a musician but also a social worker brought her mountain dulcimer with her to New York City and then played it as part of the folk music revival in Greenwich Village. From there, we're going to look at the more recent people who have played the mountain dulcimer, including, of course, Joni Mitchell, who featured it on her album called Blue, which has just celebrated quite an anniversary. We will look also at how the, here we go, brain, how the baby boomers have and really found the instrument and have endorsed it and have jumped on board. There are many, many dulcimer players now in the state of Florida, which was not the case even 20 years ago. This is not a playing class. We're going to take a folklore approach. We're going to look at community. We're going to look at the arts and crafts movement, settlement schools, all the different things that combined to make the mountain dulcimer such a reflection of the Appalachian community and Appalachian spirit. The mountain dulcimer in American culture will meet on Wednesday mornings from 9:30 to 11:30. You'll get to hear a lot of wonderful music, some of it live, some of it recorded, and we will learn a lot about the culture of Appalachia. I hope you'll join us. Thank you.
My name is Mark Schlackman, and I serve, among other things, as a Senior Program Director at Florida State University Center for the Advancement of Human Rights, and over time have had the privilege of serving in the Clinton White House, the George W. Bush State Department, and also was special counsel to Governor Lawton Chiles. So what had the opportunity to do is to frame a NATO update, a North American Treaty Organization update. So regardless of whether you may have taken the initial NATO course last year as the Russia intervention into Ukraine was unfolding, we'll be focusing upon current developments, geopolitical issues, humanitarian issues, membership of NATO, which actually is just changing, expanding, and how NATO applies today and moving forward. For perspective, this transatlantic treaty organization arose out of World War II, established in 1949. Interestingly, which many of us tend to, well, at least not recall, there was only one instance where Article 5, which is for the common defense of NATO members, was invoked. And that was immediately following September 11, 2001, in defense or in support of the United States. So we will take a look at, explore the different perspectives by different administrations over time, but our focus will be on NATO today, current membership, moving forward, and what are the implications of this ongoing scenario in Ukraine. So look forward to the opportunity to explore these issues with you. This will be a 3-week course, which is slated for Wednesdays from 9:30 to 11:30, beginning on May 3. And for the next couple of Wednesdays, this course will be offered through OLLI on Zoom. So hope to see you amid the FSU OLLI Zoom grid. Thank you.
Ciao or hello, my name's Austin Wilkes. I teach undergraduate Italian language in FSU's Department of Modern Languages and Linguistics. And I am so thrilled to be expanding the Italian offerings at OLLI to include a new class, beginning Italian conversation. We're going to be meeting on Zoom on Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. Eastern. And over the course of our 6 lessons, we're going to expand from the focus on cities that Italian for Travelers focuses on to include regions and really stretch out. We're also going to be focusing on 6 major questions, one for each lesson, which includes who, what, where, which, how, and the all-important why. This course is going to be very interactive. We're doing a lot of conversing, a lot of activities, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, it is a companion class to Italian for Travelers, but it's not a prerequisite. So if you have not taken Italian for Travelers, I really encourage you to join us, even if you might feel a bit intimidated that there are other people who have experience either with that class or another. Every robust linguistic community includes people of different levels. And in fact, that's how we learn best, by either teaching to others what we already know or from learning from more experienced conversationalists. Likewise, if you have taken Italian for Travelers, I'd really love to see you again. There'll be a little bit of overlap in what we cover. Of course, repetition's always good for language learning, but there'll be a lot of new material to keep you occupied. So whether you don't speak a word or you're looking to improve or build on what you already know, I would really love to see you there with us on Wednesdays from noon to 2 Eastern on Zoom. Ciao.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nick Santamaria. I'm a performer. Actually, next year will be my 50th year as a performer. I'm also an author and an expert on show business history, meaning vintage show business. Now, my past classes have been things like the history of film comedy, the history of the film musical, the history of the TV variety show, and on and on. My students, the students that take my classes, will tell you how passionate I am about this topic. And I tend to be very Jack Parr about it, if you know what I mean. But that's just, my emotions come up because I'm so passionate about this, and I'd love to share it with you. So this course is called Selected Short Subjects. No, we're not talking about Mickey Rooney and Billy Barty. We are talking about those short films that used to be part of the program every time you went to the movies. Now, I'm not assuming that you remember this because they actually, in effect, short subjects ended at the end of the 1950s. So that was quite a while ago. So we're going to be looking at it stage by stage, starting with the silent films and then all the way up through the Depression, the war years, into the 1950s. We're going to meet all the stars of these films. We're going to meet the people who made these films, the studios, and we're going to see what their purpose really was in filling out the movie program. You used to get a feature, at least one feature, a newsreel, a cartoon, and a short subject. Could have been a crazy comedy, could have been a musical, and it could have been a travelogue or Crime Doesn't Pay. Let's take a look at them. Come join us. It starts May 4th at 9:30 in the morning. You might be seeing me in my pajamas, but it's okay. I'm kind of sexy. And we'll go from there, 9:30 to 11:30, and we end on June 8th. Okay, so I hope to see you. Come join us. It's a lot of fun. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name's Deanna Ramsey, and I will be teaching the course iPhone Savvy. Please join me on Thursdays at 9:30 a.m. via Zoom. That's Eastern time, by the way. And note that we will not have a class on May 11th. It's listed in your syllabus. We will begin with a review of the basic skills for improving your knowledge of currently what you know about your phone. Then we will play with a new feature of iOS 16. Lastly, we'll spend some time organizing our screens, apps, and files to help you more fluent with your phone. And if you have any questions about what we'll be covering, you're welcome to email me at dina.d.ramsey@gmail.com. Hope to see you there.
My name is Emanuel Abramovits, and I will be teaching a class called Classical Music Virtuosos by Zoom on Thursdays at noon from 12 to 2 p.m. We'll be dedicating 1 or 2 classes to composers, 1 or 2 to violin players, then 1 to pianists, and then conductors, cellists, and even unusual instruments that might become the classical instruments of the future. We'll talk about with anecdotes, stories, humor, even some gossip, and a lot of support from audiovisuals. We'll dedicate time to performers who give technical brilliance, charisma, and showmanship another meaning, and conductors that have given the main American orchestras a distinctive sound. Names like Heifetz, Perlman, Horowitz, Rubinstein, Dudamel, Argerich, and many others. So see you soon by Zoom.
Okay. Hello, my name is Peter Hoeflich. I'm professor for physics and astrophysics at Florida State. And I would really like to share in the course the excitement of my students and me about the James Webb Space Telescope, which really revolutionized our modern astrophysics. And astronomy is really a forefront driver of science, technology, and I hope you really share the journey. We want to talk about now the next decadal mission, which has just started, now with respect to astrophysics. And so if you're interested in how the early universe looks like, how gold is made, and how better we have life of other planets, that's really what this new telescopes really will allow us to probe, and has already shown some exciting new results. The other part of this mission, which is really a big effort between European and our NASA for the next 10, 15 years, is really that it's a driver of technology, like the moon landing. So in one part, besides the astrophysical question and the trip to space, I hope to join me now on learning about the technology and the forefront technology, which has been divided and developed basically, and the impact for education in our society. So the course will be starting on the 4th of May, and will be on the 5th, 11th, and 5th of 18th of May, and will be between 2:30 and 4:30. And the location will be in person in Westminster Oaks. And I hope you join me in the exciting new times and exciting new trip, and see you there.
Hi, my name is Arleen Pabon. I'm an architect and retired professor from the School of Architecture at FAMU. Architecture is a silent yet powerful language that commands our attention. Among the many powers it includes, it allows us to three-dimensionally experience the past. For example, in our day, no one has seen an Egyptian pharaoh, but thanks to the preserved pyramids, however, we better understand not only the pharaoh's belief system, but their dreams and nightmares. Historic preservation activities make possible to preserve for posterity buildings and sites important to humans. Our course, Preserving the World's Architectural and Urban Heritage, studies how historic preservation has evolved through time. Using national and international examples, we also analyze changing ideals and parameters, successes and failures, while better understanding that most elusive of places known as the past, but is also described as a foreign country. We will meet on Thursdays from 2:30 to 4:30 at Westminster Oaks on May the 25th, June the 8th, and June the 15th. I hope to see you there. Thank you.